All right, time to get the 8 o'clock hour underway. Brought to you by Cornelius Custom Services. Anytime you hear the taxi door open, that's when Joe, the Brown Insurance guy, comes in here on your Cornelius Custom Services 8 o'clock hour. Morning, sir.
Good morning, Rick. How are you today?
Well, doing well. Hope everything is going well your way. And, well, we've got summer coming up, which means there's going to be a lot more driving going on. People hit the open road and things like that. How does, I guess, car insurance work? Let's say I get in the car, I'm traveling to Louisiana, Mississippi, wherever.
Right.
You know, some people may ask this question: does car insurance work everywhere, or is it just here in Texas?
Yeah, no, it works everywhere. That's the beauty of it. You know, it's time to take that family trip to Florida or Colorado. Mm-hmm. Maybe get a little Rocky Mountain High type of thing. And, car insurance works everywhere from a liability standpoint, from an uninsured motorist standpoint. It's transferable, meaning, you can drive from here to Oregon, here to Maine, no big deal. Get into an accident up in Maine, your limits are good up there. Everything like normal works. So you're the only coverage that you don't have is Mexico coverage, but there are actually policies to get that covered for you as well. So when it's time to hit the open road, don't let insurance be a concern for you. You're good to go. One of the things I wanted to chat with you about today, and it's just something that's been kind of rearing its ugly head at the agency for the past week or two now, unlisted drivers.
Unlisted drivers.
And what an unlisted driver is typically we see this a lot where parents will have a kiddo that's 15, 16, 17 years old. And guys, let's just face it, a young driver is expensive.
Boy, is it ever.
Boy, they are. Yeah, you know that for sure.
Yeah.
And I think I got about 5-6 years before that hits my household. But it's just one of those things. It's just a fact of life. Young drivers, they're expensive. Girls until they're 21, boys until they're 25. That's just the way it rolls. And so what we see a lot of times is parents will say, they'll come in, hey, it's a mom and dad and they got 3 cars. Well, who's on that other car? Or, 2 people, 3 cars. What's the situation? Got any other drivers in the household? Nope, no other drivers. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to hold off adding that kiddo as long as they can because they don't want to see the spike in the insurance rates. And the issue that we run into, car insurance is there. Let's just use, for an example, you and I are we're not on the motorcycle, but I call you up and say, Rick, my truck's broke down. Can I borrow your truck? And you toss me the key, say, sure, no big deal. I'm going to borrow it for a day or two. Not a problem. I get into a wreck in your vehicle and you have full coverage. We have coverage. No big deal. We're good to go. The issue runs into is when you have regular access use to that car, i.e., Matt goes back a couple of years and now Matt's 16 years old.
Right.
And he's got full access to the vehicle. He's taking it to school. He's taking it to work, all that good stuff. But you guys don't have him listed on the policy. Unlicensed drivers, there's a lot of companies starting to crack down on that right now, and a lot of claims being denied. For example, you've got a driver that you try to keep off. You don't add him to the policy. He goes out, gets into an accident. It's his fault. The other person that they hit or get into an accident with calls, tries to get a claim, started on the policy to get their vehicle fixed, only to find out that claim's going to be denied because the company didn't have the kiddo listed as a driver on the policy. And guess what? That means they're going to come after you as an individual because your insurance company is going to deny the claim. Why are they going to deny the claim? Because through investigation, they realize you purposely tried to keep that kid off the policy. And it's a situation where a lot of folks try to skirt it, and a lot of folks try to come in, well, I didn't know I needed to add him to the policy, or, I never, I tried to do that. There's a lot of ways we see it. That seems to be the most crafty way to try to evade, is try to figure out, how can I keep my kiddo off this policy? Guys, young drivers are expensive. Everybody knows that. You were expensive when you were a young kiddo. It's just the way it rolls. So do the right thing. It's kind of a you're going to either pay now or you're going to pay later, one or the other. And you can roll the dice if you don't want to pay now and just hope and pray and close your eyes and click your heels and hope nothing ever happens, because down the road, if you get into that accident, there's a really good chance you're going to be paying for it out of your own pocket, and that can be anywhere from $2,500 for a simple fender bender on up to $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. We actually had a case the other day. I was talking to a claims rep where an unlicensed driver actually got into an accident, and there was a fatality, and it was the person's fault. And that's not only that's on them. from a liability standpoint, from a property damage standpoint. And guys, those bills get pretty high pretty quick.
Yeah, no, I guess the chances of a young, inexperienced driver having an accident is probably a lot higher than someone who's been driving a while. So an unlisted teenage driver is just an accident looking for a place to happen a lot
Pretty
of cases.
much. Yeah, and again, not every teenage driver is like this. You see a lot of times there's so many things. I mean, I remember the first time I got handed the keys to the car, and I thought, oh, man, this is wonderful. And you look back and you think of all the things that you didn't realize back then that you know now. As you get older, your speed tends to come down a little bit. You're not as rambunctious. Of course, all the distractions that go on in the car these days, from texting to radios and all that stuff. So, yeah, the likelihood of a accident with a kiddo is, like you said, it's an accident waiting to happen.
Joe, and I know a lot of folks out there listening this morning may be going, well, maybe I need to get this changed. Maybe I need to get this fixed. Or,
right.
Or maybe I have a son or daughter I'm fixing to add to the policy. I mean,
we can always quote it from that perspective. That's the beauty.
What do they need to do?
Yeah, what we can easily do is we can look at your policy and say, okay, a lot of folks will say, I got a kiddo, he's got his learner's permit. We're still kind of doing the defensive driving right now, which, by the way, you always want to send your kids through that because it looks better to the insurance companies if they've had a defensive driving course. And if you got a few hours to kill and you want to do a little online defensive driving course as adults, that always looks good too. You always usually get discounts for that. So you got a kiddo that's 15. You say, hey, this is my policy. I want to see what it's going to cost. We can run cost scenarios to see to where you know what that hit's going to be the minute Johnny gets his license and he's out on the road. You know, okay, I'm going to add him in 4 months. This is what it's going to cost me. And you can prepare for that and you can plan for that.
So give them a call today. Now, folks need to get a hold of you and ask these questions. How is the best way to do it?
Really simple. 549-2525. Call up, talk to Ann, Lynette, myself, either way, or you can come on up to the second floor of the Sierra Bank building and come on out. We'll give you that free elevator ride up to the second floor and come in and ask for us. And we've got all your personal lines squared away: your home, your auto, your motorcycles, your boats, your vacation homes, trailer houses, whatever you like. We also do commercial stuff as well. So any type of oil field consultants, we've got that. If you're looking to start maybe a lawn care business coming up for this summer, we can take care of that for you as well.
So give them a call today. They're going to get you fixed up. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate your time, my friend.
Thank you, Rick.
We got more coming up here in your Cornelius Custom Service 8 o'clock hour as Boston and Rod Stewart to get it kicked off. Stay tuned.